Your world is a mirror. Everyone you meet is a divine messenger. That phrase comes from Neville Goddard, and he believed that people in your reality are your consciousness pushed out, your consciousness of them pushed out to confirm your self concept. Neville said, "Do not try to change people. They are only messengers telling you who you are. Revalue yourself, and they will confirm the change." What does this mean, for instance, when you experience someone blocking you? I personally believe it's one of two things. The first is the state you now dominantly occupy makes the other person uncomfortable for a number of reasons. And the second is that what you may be perceiving as someone having blocked you is really based on how you're interpreting it. For example, if I am observing that someone's blocked me while I'm occupying the state that I am chosen, and I know that I've done nothing wrong, and I've maintained healthy boundaries for myself, then I don't give any meaning or importance to the perception of being blocked. I know this might sound difficult for some people, but as I say very often, go back to remembering who you are in your world. What specific people do in our reality is based on who we are. So then, who are you? Are you someone who's been blocked, or someone who values themselves, and as such, the perception of being blocked means nothing? Can you spot the difference? There's a difference there. Nobody in your reality has any power to reject you unless you consent to it. It doesn't matter who it is. It could be a romantic partner, family member, friend, colleague, or coworker. Think about what you're saying yes to. Now, I'm not saying that you should gaslight yourself into believing that you're still in a relationship or friendship with someone with whom you aren't currently communicating with. But before you slap a label on something as bad, pause and reconsider. Because the truth is, we're all connected in consciousness. The same I am that resides within me also exists within you and every other human I encounter, and even the humans that I don't. So any degree of separation, whether it is a block, a breakup, silent treatment, whatever, that's all an illusion anyway. It's not possible. Now, we can experience a sense of separation. Our human self might experience that in our 3D when something like this happens. But if you go within, the answer, in my opinion, is always going to be to go within. Because when you go within in your imagination, you get to determine the outcome with anyone, any specific person. Because in your imagination, no one has any ability to block or to reject you. So play out the scene the way that you want it to go. Now, it's perfectly okay and even very healthy to feel all of the things that you need to feel, that your human side needs to feel, the anger, the disappointment, the sadness, but don't allow these feelings to consume you, because if you do, it's a slippery slope. You don't want it to become your state. Remember that you are the I am. Don't give away your power to anyone else or to any circumstance, because people change their minds all the time, and things might not be the way they appear to be. But the choice is, of course, always yours in the end as to whether or not you choose to allow any specific person into your life or back into your life. But always do so knowing exactly who you are. Stand firm in that. There is no one above you in your reality except for you, no matter who that person is. You are at the top of that pyramid, so act like it. Think from that point of view, from one where you're empowered and not victimized. We're the ones in control, not the other person and not the circumstance. Nothing outside of you is in charge unless you say that it is. I realize that a lot of what I say might sound repetitive, and I do so intentionally because repetition is how the mind learns. I myself didn't pick up these concepts the first or the second or even third, fourth time that I read them. And even as I started testing the law, there was still a part of me that couldn't fully accept that these things were happening through me. And yet they were, and they always had been. And I finally had to surrender to that fact. And I think that accepting that is hard for a lot of people, because when you realize that you had the power all along, sometimes that comes with some embarrassment. It can come with shame or even feeling guilty for some of the things that we might have created unconsciously. But the great thing about the law is that no matter what you've created, you're the operant power. So you can choose differently at any time, and you can do that starting right now. You don't have to wait. Remember, creation is finished. That's another reason why this idea of waiting for a manifestation, it's not true. You're waiting for nothing. Once you've decided that you are the person who has it, and yes, that's as simple as just assuming that it's true for you, that manifestation is going to solidify into matter, and you'll eventually experience it in your 3D, whether good or bad. One more thing to keep in mind is that people, you included, change, and so do our desires. So always be 100% honest with yourself. Ask yourself whether or not you sincerely want this person to be in your life. Imagine having conversations with them that are respectful, kind, and loving. But also ensure that you aren't fighting with them in your mind unless you want to remain apart from them. That's entirely up to you. You don't need anyone. You only need you. So what does your heart say? If you can feel something is true in your heart, then that's what will happen. Analyze your life in reverse and realize that whenever you felt something would happen and you felt that deep in your heart, it was only a matter of time before it eventually reflected in your 3D. Another thing is, don't worry about time. Time is as much an illusion as separation is. And besides, once you have your desire, do you ever dwell on how long it took to get to you? Because personally, I've never done that. I'm too busy being ecstatic and thrilled that I finally have it. So dwelling on time, dwelling on arguments, dwelling on being blocked makes no sense, because God wouldn't dwell on any of these things. So why should you? Thanks so much for listening, and I'll talk to you again soon.